The dimensional rift spat me out behind a dumpster, in what my scanner identified as Universe 2847, the one where everyone inexplicably loves artisanal bread. I checked my armor for dimensional residue, still clean white, though the smell of yeast was oddly overpowering here. My comm crackled with incoming transmissions from my squad. CT-9981 reporting in, just eliminated Chen, Universe 445. She was a marine biologist who'd somehow trained dolphins to perform brain surgery. The dolphins are inconsolable. CT-2156 here, took out Chen, 1203. She was running an orphanage, a tech startup, and had just been elected planetary chancellor. Also, she baked cookies that could cure depression. The entire planet is in mourning. I activated my scanner and began tracking this universe's Chen. The signal led me through winding city streets lined with quaint cafes and suspiciously well-maintained infrastructure. Everything was clean, efficient, and somehow perfectly organized. This had Chen written all over it. The scanner stopped beeping outside Sarah's sanctuary. A soup kitchen with a modest sign and a line of grateful citizens stretching around the block. Through the window I could see her, Chen, naturally beautiful despite wearing a simple apron over clothes that probably cost less than my blaster, but somehow looked more stylish than imperial dress uniforms. She was ladling soup with one hand while simultaneously teaching a small child how to read, organizing a food drive with her other hand, and apparently mediating a peace treaty between two warring gangs who had spontaneously decided to help serve meals instead of fighting. "She's incredible," whispered one homeless man to another. "Not only does she make the best soup in the galaxy, but yesterday she talked down that terrorist cell just by offering them her grandmother's recipe for bread rolls. And did you hear? She's been secretly funding the entire city's infrastructure improvements with money she earned from her anonymous novels. Bestsellers, every one of them. Accessed my tactical database. Curious, this Chen's file was extensive. Target, Chen, Universe 2847. Cover identity, soup kitchen operator, community organizer, beloved local saint. Actual identity, elite assassin responsible for eliminating 847 crime bosses, 23 corrupt politicians, and 1 interdimensional warlord. Methods, prefers poison in her famous soup, though also proficient in 47 forms of martial arts she invented herself. Threat level, extreme, but only to bad people. Public reputation, absolutely perfect human being who makes everyone else feel inadequate. Interesting. My first combat-capable Chen, I approached the soup kitchen, keeping my blaster ready but concealed. The line moved with suspicious efficiency, each person served in exactly 30 seconds, each receiving not just food but also life advice, career counseling, and what appeared to be personalized therapy. When I reached the front, Chen looked up with that characteristic perfect smile. "Oh, welcome, you look like you've had a hard day. Here's some soup. I added extra nutrients because your armor suggests you're probably not getting enough vegetables. Also, have you considered a career change? The military can be so limiting for someone with your obvious potential." She handed me a bowl of soup that smelled impossibly good. For a moment, I almost forgot my mission. This was why Chens were dangerous. They made you want to be better just by existing near them. "Actually," I said, reaching for my blaster, "I'm here on business." Her expression didn't change, but somehow the entire soup kitchen went dead silent. Every person in line seemed to tense at once. "What kind of business?" she asked pleasantly, still ladling soup as if nothing had happened. "The permanent kind." Ha! That's when Chen moved. One moment she was behind the serving counter, the next she was 3 feet to my left, somehow having dodged my blaster shot while simultaneously throwing a ladle that knocked the weapon from my hands. The homeless people in line scattered with the practiced efficiency of a well-drilled militia unit. "Oh," she said, brushing a strand of perfect hair from her face, "you're one of those interdimensional cleanup crews, aren't you? I've been expecting you." She pulled out a spatula that was definitely not regulation soup kitchen equipment. The blade gleamed with something that looked suspiciously like neurotoxin. "I have to say," she continued conversationally while we circled each other, "I'm a little insulted they only sent one clone trooper. I mean, I appreciate the efficiency, but I've taken down entire crime syndicates with nothing but soup spoons and good intentions." I lunged for my backup blaster. She was faster naturally. The spatula caught me across the wrist, and immediately I felt the tingling sensation of paralytic toxin. My hand went numb. "Don't worry," Chen said kindly, catching me as I stumbled. "It's non-lethal. I developed it myself. It only affects people with violent intentions. You'll be fine in about 20 minutes, and when you wake up you'll find I've left you some soup and a care package with job placement resources. Have you considered social work?" As consciousness faded, I managed to activate my emergency beacon. My squad would find me eventually. But as I slipped into unconsciousness, I couldn't help but notice that even while defeating me, Chen had somehow managed to continue serving soup to the growing line of customers. The last thing I heard was someone saying, "Sarah, you're amazing. You just saved the soup kitchen from an interdimensional assassin and didn't even spill a drop." "Just doing my job," came her modest reply. "Anyone would have done the same." No, I thought as darkness took me. No, they absolutely would not have. I woke up to the smell of roasted meat and the familiar sound of my squad's voices. My head felt like it had been stuffed with cotton, and my wrists still tingled from whatever Chen had dosed me with. The paralytic was wearing off, but I could barely lift my arm. "CT-7734 is coming around," announced CT-9981's voice. About time. We were starting to worry the soup kitchen lady had done permanent damage. I tried to sit up and immediately regretted it. The world spun slightly, but my vision cleared enough to see my squad gathered around what appeared to be an improvised campfire. The smell of cooking meat was stronger now and distinctly familiar. "What's that smell?" I croaked. CT-2156 looked up from tending the fire, his helmet off and revealing the standard-issue clone face we all shared. "Dinner," he said matter-of-factly. "Chen, medium rare, squad leader's orders." I blinked hard, certain I was still hallucinating from the neurotoxin. "Come again?" Our squad leader, CT-1138, approached with his usual no-nonsense stride. Unlike the rest of us, he'd been through enough campaigns to have some actual personality quirks that had survived the behavioral conditioning. Currently, that included what appeared to be a growing obsession with interdimensional dietary practices. "CT-7734, he said, helping me to my feet. "Glad to see you're functional. We tracked your beacon and arrived just in time to see the Chen variant escaping through a service tunnel. Took us 3 hours to corner her." "You killed her?" "Affirmative. But here's the interesting part." He gestured toward the fire, where what was unmistakably a human leg was slowly rotating on a makeshift spit. "I eliminated Chen's 3,891 6 hours ago. She was running some kind of interdimensional warrior academy. Taught combat techniques she'd learned by absorbing the essence of defeated opponents through ritual consumption." My stomach churned, though I wasn't sure if it was from the lingering effects of the paralytic or the horrifying realization of what my squad was doing. "So you thought that we should test the theory," CT-1138 finished. "These Chen variants are consistently superior to baseline humans in every measurable way. If consuming them grants even a fraction of their capabilities, it could significantly improve our mission effectiveness." CT-9981 looked up from where he was seasoning what appeared to be an arm. "Plus, the one from the Warrior Academy swore it worked. Right before she tried to eat CT-1138's liver. She failed, obviously," CT-1138 added, "but her attempt was impressively creative. Absorbed that creativity along with her protein content." I stared at my brothers in horror. "This is insane. We're clone troopers, not cannibals." "We're following tactical protocol," CT-1138 corrected. "The Emperor's orders were to eliminate all Chen variants by any means necessary. He didn't specify we couldn't benefit from the process." He handed me a plate with what looked suspiciously like perfectly seasoned human meat. Besides, even dead, she somehow managed to season herself. This is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. CT-2156 nodded enthusiastically, and I swear I'm already feeling smarter. Earlier, I successfully mediated a dispute between two street gangs using nothing but empathy and homemade bread rolls. I don't even know how to make bread. That's the Sci-Chen abilities integrating with your base programming, CT-1138 explained. CT-9981 has gained an inexplicable understanding of marine biology and can now communicate with dolphins. I myself have developed strong opinions about artisanal soup recipes. I looked down at the plate in my hands. The meat smelled incredible, somehow perfectly seasoned despite the fact that they'd been cooking it over an open flame behind a soup kitchen. Even in death, Sci-Chen was impossibly good at everything. "This is wrong," I said weakly. "This is tactical adaptation," CT-1138 replied. "Now eat up. We have 47,289 more Sci-Chens to eliminate, and if this theory is correct, we're going to be the most competent interdimensional assassination squad in Imperial history." Against my better judgment, I took a small bite. It was, disturbingly, the most perfectly prepared meat I'd ever tasted. Somehow, it even came with subtle notes of compassion and social justice. "See?" said CT-9981. "I told you she'd season herself perfectly. That's just the kind of considerate person Sci-Chen was." In the distance, I could hear sirens, probably the local authorities responding to reports of interdimensional warriors cannibalizing their beloved soup kitchen operator. We'd need to move soon, but first, apparently, dinner. I took another bite and tried not to think about how this was somehow both the most disturbing and most delicious meal of my military career. Many thanks to my channel members and Pathfinders. You all make these videos possible. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Video shares, memberships, and super thanks help the channel grow as well, so feel free to partner with this channel in that way as we grow. With that all said, thank you again for listening to the story, and thank you for your time. On the left side of your screen are some videos I think you might be interested in. I hope to see you in the next one.